Hello, and welcome to the second official episode of Beat Saber Replay Analysis. My name is Snowy, and I'm currently ranked number 13 on the global Score Saber leaderboards. In this series, I take a deep dive into one or more Beat Saber replays. Each episode is centered around a theme. A theme could range anywhere from fun new maps, to prominent players, to small tips for improvement. Hopefully, this series will help you guys have a better understanding of how top plays are made and how you can improve your own Beat Saber play. Ever since custom maps started releasing, people have been looking for ways to create better, faster, and harder maps. Lots of newly ranked maps on Score Saber these days are faster than they used to be. As time goes on, it's natural for maps to get harder as the player base improves. But what if you're having trouble keeping up with the skill curve? Well, today I'm going to give you some tips on how to play faster maps. Something that has helped me, as well as other players that I've talked to, is to try to focus on the area where notes are jumping in. So I've personally found that when I focus on where notes are jumping in, by the time they get to me, I've processed their existence and can then hit them easily. I'm going to roll this clip of Carrot, who's a top 10 ranked player right now, playing Villain Virus, and I want you to try two different things. Number one, I want you to try to comprehend the map while focusing toward the bottom of lane 4, and number two, I want you to try to comprehend the map while focusing toward the horizon where the notes are jumping in. So replay the clip on your own a couple times if you have to, but you should see a stark difference in your ability to comprehend note colors and directions based on where you focus your vision. It's pretty common to focus your vision on only one arm. The problem is, if you focus too much on one arm, you'll lose timing and accuracy with your other arm. So on newer, faster ranked maps, this effect is especially tangible because these maps are starting to intertwine left and right hand movements more seamlessly. Also, people just aren't used to the speed, so they tend to focus their gaze where note density is highest, which is usually on the right side unless you're playing on left-handed mode. This hardcore mix of left and right hand isn't really something that's been prevalent until very recently. If you're having trouble missing a bunch of notes on your non-dominant side, or you feel like maps are just overwhelmingly fast, stop trying to focus on the notes specifically and focus your gaze farther down the map. One concept players like to theorize about in Beat Saber is tipping. Tipping is the action of trying to hit a note with the tip of your saber. In the past, when the Beat Saber scoring system was still frequently changing, tipping used to actually give you a scoring advantage. Luckily, that bug has been fixed, but some players still use tipping for one big reason. One of my favorite players to watch is KLKK. She consistently uses tipping on all of her hits, so much so that it kind of becomes an art form. Take a look at this clip and you should be able to see just how good she is at hitting the notes with the tips of her sabers. These days, tipping doesn't give a definitive scoring advantage, but one reason players still use this tactic is to reduce bad cuts. Remember that a bad cut occurs when either a saber intersects a block of the wrong color, or a saber intersects a block in the wrong direction. Players use tipping to reduce the likelihood that their sabers will linger in certain areas after swings, leading to bad cuts. The action of hitting a block with the tip of your saber gives you a little bit more time to move your saber out of the way before another note comes. This can be useful for speed maps, where notes tend to be close together. The only downside to this tactic is that it requires a lot of precision. If you attempt to hit the block with the tip of your saber, and you swing a bit too fast, you'll miss. It's a risky tactic, but it can be very effective for speed maps if you master the timing. This is a really small tip, But there's a setting inside of Beat Saber called audio latency, which allows you to manually sync the audio from the game to the visuals inside your headset. This is a common setting in lots of rhythm games, because for various reasons, the audio is not always perfectly in sync with the video. In Beat Saber, the calibration tool is basically just a little ball that bounces back and forth. What you want to do is move the slider until the ball is hitting the wall at the exact moment you hear the ping from your headphones. If you find yourself consistently swinging too early or late, you might try adjusting this setting. Here are two quick examples, one of good audio latency settings and one of bad audio latency settings. One last tip I want to explain is how to use the practice plugin. I recommend using the practice plugin because it usually allows you to manually increase the note jump speed, spawn distance, and speed of the song independently. When notes come at you in Beat Saber, they spawn really far off, flying and spinning at a very fast speed, and then they jump, causing them to orient themselves in the correct direction and move at a different speed. NJS, or note jump speed, is the speed at which objects move once they jump in. Having a higher note jump speed will result in the notes moving faster toward you after they orient themselves. Spawn distance is the set distance where notes stop coming in at the spawning speed and start going at the note jump speed. Higher spawn distance values means that the notes will be visible in their correct orientation for longer. Meanwhile, lower values means that the blocks will orient themselves closer to the player. Therefore, increasing the note jump speed will help you with your timing on really fast notes. Decreasing the offset will help you with reacting to the existence and orientation of notes. In this episode, we talked about where to focus while playing maps, the concept of tipping, audio latency, and how to use the practice plugin. Once again, my name is Snowy. If you enjoyed this type of content, consider liking and subscribing for more. Also, if you have any feedback or ideas for videos, please leave them in the comments below or shoot me a DM on Discord at SSnowy1549. Thanks for watching.